Hello everyone and welcome back to Warframe. Today we have the breakdown for all of the new shit that has been added into the game in the Shrine of the Eidolon update. This came out yesterday, I guess, 22 hours ago. So let's just talk about what the hell has changed. A lot. Almost everything, in fact. So what they've done is they've added a bunch of stuff and they've reworked the vast majority of, well, not majority, but an insane amount of weapons in the game. So a lot of weapons that you are used to may have been buffed or may have been nerfed, depending on what they decided to do with it. They've also organized pretty much all of the weapons into their own mastery rank categories, which thank God they finally did that, because having the Bolter Prime at a mastery rank 0 weapon, not too intelligent. So they've added drive the Dargan. You can drive these things that the Greener drive in the Plains of Eidolon. I think they spawn in the Greener outposts, so you can drive one of these and fly it around and stuff. They've also added 2 new Terralists, the Gantulist and the Hydralist, and these are each their own separate Eidolons that will require you to do different things. They have different attacks, so on and so on. They also drop special things. They will drop Riven Mod transmutation things, as you can see here. So it takes 4 Rivens, and you can transmute them into another Riven. They all have to be the same type, so for rifle, melee, shotgun, etc. So that's a thing. Not a lot of people are too happy about this right now, because it just adds another layer of RNG to Rivens, but we will see how it plays out, you know, as more and more people get these and test it out and whatnot. They've added a bunch of random stuff. They've done a bunch of sound stuff. They've reworked a ton of Warframes. So let's go into this. They've reworked Ash and his Blade Storm. So now you can teleport into his Blade Storm, but you are not like kind of locked into his Blade Storm ability. So you can actually run around while Blade Storm is active, as we can see by this clip here. If it plays or not, take my word for it. Atlas has gotten an entirely new mechanic called Rubble, and this comes from killing petrified enemies, which you can petrify them using his ability Petrify, and they've basically reworked Atlas to fit around his Petrify ability, which is very interesting. So this Rubble stuff will allow you to like have more armor, basically, and it restores health. It can also buff up your rumblers. It can buff up your landslide. So it's pretty cool. I haven't tested it out, but it seems like it is a very, very beneficial change that Atlas needs. So that is good. Banshee has gotten a new augment called Resonating, or it's not a new augment, but her augment Resonating Quick has been reworked so that you place down your Resonating Quake and it shoots out and hits enemies one time, and you're not stuck into the Resonating Quake. We'll see if this is actually good or not. It might not be. It's probably not going to serve the same purpose. It's probably going to be a place it room nuke ability. But it still probably will be useful. Chroma has been getting interesting changes, where Vex Armor is now recastable, and Spectral Scream has been buffed, and some other stuff. You can read all of this if you want. Ember has been nerfed. Her World on Fire has been nerfed. That's her main change. It will, after 5 seconds, the range will decrease, but the damage will increase, and it will take more and more energy the longer you have it. So similar to Valkyr's Hysteria with the energy consumption, but I don't think that this is a good change for Ember. Ember definitely needed a change because she was a little bit broken, but this is, I feel, going to make her very useless, because World on Fire running through missions was her only use, and I don't think having the damage increase slightly is going to make her any more viable in the late game. But we will see. Mass Vitrify for Gaara is scaling now, so that gives it more health, which is good. It was complete trash before this. Hydroid, when you're using your Undertow, enemies are now kept down in there correctly when you're moving around. So when you use like your surge, tidal surge, enemies won't fly out of your tidal surge. That was a big thing. Mirage's Eclipse duration has been buffed to match Hall of Mirrors. God, that's such... It's like... It's not even that important. Like, it's not a serious buff, but it's just really nice, because if you play Mirage a lot, then you know how fucking annoying it is to keep up Hall of Mirrors and Eclipse, like, at the same time, because they both have different durations, and so they all end at like, different times. God, it's annoying. So that's a really nice change. Mag has been reworked a lot. She has gotten more energy. Polarize now scales based on power strength, as well as the percentage of damage done to enemies. That's for her shards. And her augment for Polarize now jams weapons for 4 seconds and stun locks / disables robotic enemies for 4 seconds, which is very nice. That's a nice little crowd control thing for Mag. Her Crush also gives shields, and this will restore shields to her and nearby allies, which is very nice. And the Crush animations have been sped up, which is also very nice. So Mag, looking not bad here. This is pretty good. We'll see if she needs more, because she's been pretty trash recently, but this is a very nice change. Very happy with it. Rhino got a thing. Volt's Discharge got the damage cap removed, which is very, very, very good. So hopefully Volt is starting to look like a very good Warframe. Zephyr got a new ability and got a complete rework. Tailwind has now combined with Dive Bomb, so that is just one ability. And it will just fly in whatever direction, and Dive Bomb will activate if you're looking straight down in the air. It does more damage now, costs less energy, which is very nice. And then the Dive Bomb Augment has changed into a Tailwind Augment, which is very good. Turbulence now looks different. And the new ability, Air Burst, is just a projectile that does AoE damage and ragdolls enemies, can be fired into tornadoes to make them bigger. As well, the tornadoes, when you shoot them, all of the damage that you apply into the tornadoes directly goes into all of the enemies within the tornado. So basically, you keep the enemies stun locked in the tornado, you shoot the tornado, and that damage spreads into all of the enemies. So tornado is now no longer a major pain in the ass when you're trying to kill enemies. So this is very, very, very good. It's a good little buff for Zephyr. So, geez, that's all of the Warframes. Not to mention the probably the biggest part of this is actually the weapon changes. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's so many. So I'm just going to scroll through here. Basically what they've done is they've reworked all of the weapons, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, to fit into specific categories of mastery ranks that DE has decided to kind of set the boundaries for. And so depending on what mastery rank group the weapons have been placed into, their stats have been either buffed or nerfed. So it's very interesting. All of these weapons are slightly changed. You know, some of them, like the Opticore, have only been their mastery rank changed, but that is still very, very impactful, especially to newer players who have lower MR. So this is going to be very interesting. It's going to take a while to learn what all of these weapons do again and how good they are. Yeah, there's just so much. Like, we're not even close. Just scrolling through all of these, there's so much, so many changes here. It's pretty ridiculous. Most weapons have like kept like their basic level of applicability, you know. So like you're not gonna be seeing like an Akbolto in the mastery rank 10 to 12 or whatever, you know. But something like the Daikyu is very interesting because it's in the highest rank with the Cernos Prime, which is interesting. Not sure how those are going to work out. Some of these changes are very interesting, as well as the mastery ranking groupings for them. Some trash weapons have been placed into very high mastery ranks without any changes at all. So best to keep that in mind, that just because it's in this specific mastery rank doesn't mean that it is innately good. There have been some arcane changes, index changes, blah blah blah, tier list, blah 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 blah, bunch of fixes and tweaks and whatnot, and that's the update. Holy crap, so much stuff. As well, when you log in the first 7 days of this update launching, what am I doing? You will get a thing in your inbox giving you a Forma bundle, which is 3 Forma, a 3-day affinity booster, and an Exilus adapter, which is very nice. However, if you don't log in within the first week of this update being live, you won't get that stuff. So make sure that you do that if you want all the good stuff. That Forma bundle is very, very helpful. I am appreciative of that. But yeah, there's also like a bunch of like random changes. Like on Hydron, they've added a new staircase, and they've tweaked the map layout a little bit. So like, who knows all of the changes? There's just so much random shit. So you're gonna have to go out there and explore it, or read the patch notes like really in depth, because there's so much update. It's crazy. It's really crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this was useful. Yeah, this is a big update. Big update. Very excited for the future. Very excited to see how the meta changes and adapts with all of these weapon changes. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.